Did you know the most powerful drug lord once controlled an empire worth $30 billion from shadowy deals to billion-dollar? We're counting down the top 5 most notorious drug lords. Stay with US till the end.
Pablo Escobar, born in 1949 in Colombia, became one of the most notorious drug lords in history. He rose to power in the 1970s and 1980s as the leader of the Medellin Cartel, which controlled a significant portion of the global cocaine trade. Escobar amassed immense wealth, estimated to be billions of dollars, through his criminal activities. His criminal activities included drug trafficking on a massive scale, as well as extortion, kidnapping, and murder. Escobar's reign of terror was marked by violence and corruption, as he ruthlessly eliminated rivals and those who stood in his way. Despite his criminal activities, Escobar was viewed by some as a Robin Hood-like figure due to his charitable works in Colombian communities. However, his violence and the devastating impact of the drug trade overshadowed any positive image. Escobar's empire eventually crumbled under pressure from Colombian and international law enforcement agencies. He was killed by Colombian authorities in 1993 during a rooftop shootout in Medellin, bringing an end to his reign as one of the most powerful and feared criminals in history.
Freeway Rick Ross was born on January 26, 1960, in Troop, Texas. Raised in poverty in south-central Los Angeles, he dropped out of high school but later earned his GED while serving time in prison. In the early 1980s, Ross began selling cocaine, capitalizing on the burgeoning crack cocaine epidemic. His business acumen and ruthless tactics allowed him to build a vast drug empire, controlling a significant portion of the Los Angeles drug market. Ross's network spanned across multiple states, distributing cocaine to cities like New York and Washington, D.C. His operation contributed to the rise of crack cocaine addiction and associated violence in urban communities. In 1989, Ross was arrested and sentenced to life in prison under the Three Strikes Law for conspiracy to distribute narcotics. However, his sentence was reduced to 20 years after it was revealed that his conviction was based on entrapment by the government. After his release in 2009, Ross became an advocate against drug abuse and a motivational speaker. He also focused on educating young people about the dangers of drugs and the importance of making positive life choices.
Amado Carrillo Fuentes was born on December 17, 1956, in Guamaquilito, Sinaloa, Mexico. Little is known about his early years, but he entered the drug trade in his early adulthood. In the 1980秒 and the 1990秒, Carrillo Fuentes quickly rose through the ranks of the Juarez Cartel, becoming its leader after the death of his predecessor, Rafael Aguilar Guajardo. In 1993, known as the Lord of the Skies, Señor de los Cielos, Carrillo Fuentes revolutionized the drug trade by pioneering the use of large commercial aircraft to transport cocaine from South America to Mexico and then into the United States. Under his leadership, the Juarez Cartel expanded its influence and operations, controlling key smuggling routes along the U.S.-Mexico border and establishing alliances with other cartels. Amado Carrillo Fuentes died on July 4, 1997, under mysterious circumstances following botched plastic surgery intended to alter his appearance. His death marked the end of an era for the Juarez Cartel, which faced internal struggles and external pressures thereafter.
Griselda Blanco was born on February 15, 1943, in Cartagena, Colombia. Raised in poverty, she began her criminal career as a pickpocket and prostitute in her early teens. In the 1970s and 1980s, Blanco became a central figure in the Medellin Cartel, led by Pablo Escobar. Known as the Black Widow and the Queen of Cocaine, she played a pivotal role in the expansion of cocaine trafficking from Colombia to the United States. Blanco's ruthless tactics and willingness to use violence earned her a fearsome reputation. She was implicated in numerous murders, including those of rival traffickers, business associates, and even innocent bystanders. In 1985, Blanco was arrested in the United States and sentenced to more than a decade in prison on drug trafficking charges. Despite her incarceration, she continued to wield influence within the cartel through her connections and family members. After her release from prison in the mid-2000s, Blanco returned to Colombia. In 2012, she was gunned down in Medellin, marking the end of a tumultuous and notorious life. Joaquin Archivaldo Guzman Lora was born on April 4, 1957, in La Tuna, a rural community in Sinaloa, Mexico. Raised in poverty, he dropped out of school early and began working in the drug trade in his teens. Guzman's ascent in the world of narcotics began in the 1970s, when he joined the Guadalajara cartel under Miguel Ángel Félix Gallardo. Known for his ambition and intelligence, he quickly gained the trust of cartel leaders and established himself as El Chapo's operational methods were marked by brutality and innovation. He pioneered the use of tunnels to smuggle drugs under the US-Mexico border and cultivated a network of corrupt officials and law enforcement to protect his interests. Guzman's ability to evade capture added to his legend. He escaped from Mexican prisons twice, first in 2001, reportedly hidden in a laundry cart, and again in 2015 through a sophisticated tunnel dug into his cell. The latter escape involved extensive planning and coordination with outside accomplices. In January 2016, after months on the run, Guzman was captured in a shootout with Mexican Marines in Los Mochis, Sinaloa. He was subsequently extradited to the United States in 2017 to face charges related to drug trafficking, money laundering, and conspiracy. El Chapo's trial in 2019 in New York City drew international attention for its revelations about his criminal empire and the inner workings of the drug. Despite his defense's efforts, he was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years, ensuring he would never walk free again.